Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I am delighted to say that Covermore are the media partner for UKinbound for the up-and-coming conference convention, indeed, in Manchester in the middle of September. And in order to give you a little taste about what to expect from this convention, which will be face-to-face, it's going to be, yes, indeed, it's not virtual like this, it's going to be face-to-face. It's very exciting. We have Josh Croft, who is the top cheese at UKinbound. We have Tim Reynolds, who is from the Kensington Clock Tower in Manchester, which is where the conference is going to be held. And we have Shona Southern from Marketing Manchester, which is the city in which it's going to be held. So, Josh, I know the theme of the conference is Build Back Better. What can people expect to benefit? You know, why would anybody want to come to your conference?
Sure. Well, I mean, I think the first thing to say is that it's really exciting to be the first time since the start of the pandemic. Actually, it coincides almost exactly with the last convention that we held in Bristol, which was in February 2020. So it's the first time that we're going to be able to get the industry back together face to face. We're going to have business to business appointments. So we're really hoping to drive a strong ROI for all of the attendees. But it's also the opportunity for people to upskill themselves. We'll have educational workshops. We'll have some inspiring keynotes. And we should have a lot of fun as well into the bargain as well. So it'll be great networking opportunities, but with a strong business rationale as well.
And when you talk about Build Back Better, I mean, lots of people are using that phraseology. What do you think we could be doing in the UK inbound industry to build back better? Does that mean different ways of operating? Does it mean more sustainability? Does it mean different type of marketing? You know, or is that what we're going to debate?
That's what a lot of the conference sessions are about. So on the first day, we're going to have breakouts for suppliers where they'll be able to upskill themselves on the power of reviews, for example. We're also going to be having sessions on accessibility and sustainability as well. So really that kind of the better element as well. But of course, it's ideal timing with the announcement that we just had, or in fact, the opening up of our borders to fully vaccinated EU and US citizens that came into force this week. It's a fantastic opportunity for people to be planning business now for 2022, because that's what we've got to do. We've got to start trading our way out of this difficulty, given the lack of support that there's been for some areas of the industry to date.
Do you think there's an opportunity really for the UK travel industry, tourism industry to, if you like, really emphasise how important this industry and this sector of the economy is to the UK?
We've got some great keynote speakers. We'll be announcing those over the next coming weeks. But I think also in terms of bringing the whole of the industry together, what we're doing for the first time this year is we're opening it up to non-members as well as our existing 300 members in the UK inbound membership. We're doing that because we want to spread the benefit across the whole of the inbound visitor economy. It's worth £28.4 billion a year. It's absolutely critical to the UK economy, but we've all got to be working together to make sure that we come out of this at the other end.
Excellent. Well, as you know, or we all know, the convention is going to be held in Manchester, which is obviously the home of the Theatre of Dreams, and there's also another football club in Manchester as well, I believe. I'm not too sure who they are, but Fiona, what could we be experiencing when we come to Manchester?
Yeah, so thanks, Graham. Not only two great football clubs, but also fantastic cricket and cycling venues. So, autumn's going to be another distinctive phase in this aspects in terms of the pandemics, and hopefully we'll all have more of a degree of stability and more in-person activity, and that includes fabulous events. So our convention bureau is really ready to welcome back our delegates and conferences. We never sit on our laurels. Manchester is always prepared, perhaps always resilient, aiming for the best and planning for the worst is in our DNA. So we've launched a new campaign. So it's called Meet in Manchester, so Space to Meet. So Space to Meet is something about, the space mindset, space in terms of, this COVID space. All of our venues have been working together in partnership, and we're going to launch an enhanced delegate welcome in September when those conferences start coming back. So we kick off with the Chartered Institute of Housing in September, followed closely by the Conservatives. But the jewel in the crown, of course, is UKinbound's conference, which we've been well waiting for. So when our delegates come back, they'll find our pubs, restaurants and venues tip-top, very safe. We all have been working really hard in terms of providing a safe welcome back to the conference side of things. But the venues themselves have also been teching up. So most of our conference facilities are now high-tech, available for hybrids and broadcast type quality service within them. Of course, Kimpton, just been rebranded last year, fabulous venue. I won't steal the thunder really from Tim, but I think in terms of a luxury hotel brand, the Kimpton is fabulous venue for us in the city to host this conference. So as well as that, there's loads of food, bars, restaurants, foodie destination. Our food reputation has been growing over the few years. We've got fantastic food scene, making top advantage of all of those pedestrianisation over COVID. So we're definitely building back higher tech, a warm welcome, and some great food, drink, and culture offer to wrap up a fabulous conference. So very much looking forward to welcoming people back.
And one of the things I've always enjoyed in Manchester are the museums, as well as lots of the food, and everybody knows about Chinatown, etc., etc. But the museums are probably, in my opinion, perhaps a little understated. And of course, you have the football museum now in Manchester as well, don't you?
Oh, the museums, I think I agree with that. We're running a campaign at the moment with 21 of our cultural organisations, and the museums are all included in there. The Science and Industry Museum is just undergoing a 7-year massive refurbishment. So Power Hall, brilliant facilities that then back onto the new factory site that will open up in a couple of years. So in terms of investments across the cultural sector, as well as the other commercial sector, it's just not stopped. So most of those projects will carry on. We've still got 1,000 new beds going in every year for the next 3 years. So that investment going in is, it's pretty strong. Although, the whole of the sector has had a good kicking over the last year. We're definitely ready to come back. Excellent.
Well, in my opinion, it should be a compulsory part of children's education that they go to the Science Industry Museum in Manchester. It's that good, in my opinion. It shows such a, all of the Industrial Revolution stuff. But yeah, part of that spin-off from the Industrial Revolution was fantastic construction of buildings in Manchester city centre. And as far as I understand, Tim, who is the big cheese at the Kensington Clock Tower, is going to tell us a little bit about the history of his hotel.
Yeah, firstly, I'd say that we're absolutely delighted to be able to host this event, and we are really, really looking forward to welcoming people back. The Kimpton ethos is all about staying human, and also create a heartfelt human connection. It's very hard to do that over Zoom. It's much more easier when you've got people in the same room. So that's a real pleasure to be part of. Yeah, the building was designed, and construction started in 1896. It was designed by Alfred Waterhouse, if you know the name. And then it ran as the headquarters of the Refuge Assurance Company for around 100 years. And then in 1996, it transformed into the Palace Hotel. And it has been a hotel ever since. It's been through a couple of brands. It was always under the Principal Hayley umbrella. So Palace was a Principal Hayley brand. And then it became Principal when there was a significant investment into the redecoration and redesign of all the interiors. The Refuge Bar and Restaurant was launched. And then a couple of years later, the Kimpton brand was bought by IHG, and as was the Principal estate. And then it was brought in, it became a Kimpton. So we launched as a Kimpton in, would it be March last year? So March 2020. I think we were open for about a week before very sadly had to close the doors, and have effectively really relaunched only in the last couple of months. So we are very fresh, very new to the city, albeit the building is not and the history is not. But yeah, it's a fantastic space. We've got plenty of it. So there is that safe space that you talk about is being so important with meeting delegates now. The ballroom can house up to about 1,000 people. And then there's obviously multiple spaces throughout the building, from food and beverage areas to other conference rooms, breakout areas, and whatnot.
And the location of the Kimpton is very central, isn't it? It's in the Manchester, just off on Oxford Street in the city centre. So getting to there from Piccadilly and so on is a piece of cake, I would imagine.
Absolutely. It's a short walk from Piccadilly. If you come into Oxford Road, you literally have to cross the road and then you're back at the hotel. And thanks to the wonderful tram network, as long as you get somewhere close to the city, you can always get to St. Peter's Square, where it's a very short sort of 4 or 5 minute hop down the road. So yeah, very well connected.
And when I've stayed in Kimptons around the world, there's always been this sort of understated luxury, and it's fairly relaxed. And I did notice something, a phrase that I hadn't been familiar with before in describing Kensington Hotel as kid cool. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it seemed quite appropriate when I was talking about the Kensington that it was kid cool.
Yeah, kid cool. We try and celebrate not just the guests that are staying, but the reason why they're staying. So people will bring pets or children, both of which are greeted arguably with more enthusiasm than the people that actually brought them through the door. So we'll often find a receptionist running excitedly towards a furry friend that's walked in, casually forgetting that it's actually a person at the other end of the lead that's going to be footing the bill and actually rating their experience. But yeah, as long as it fits, and not obviously more pet than children, but providing it fits through the door and in a lift, you're welcome to bring it in. And yeah, we do make a point of making sure that children have, you know, if anything, a more memorable experience than the parents, because that is then more of a reason for them to come back. And it is that human connection. So yeah, we remember names, we exchange pictures, we share cuddly toys, we, you know, create those ridiculously personal moments so that they have a reason to come back, or a reason to visit another Kimpton.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I'm certainly looking forward to the convention. Should be really good. I don't know about kid cool, but cool kids could be going there, I think, in terms of the delegates. And the dates of the convention are, Joss?
The 16th and 17th of September. So we've kept it down to 2 nights, 1 night and 2 days, hoping that people build on the shoulder night so that they can experience the fam trips that we'll be running, but also experience what a great city Manchester is, and of course the surrounding area, easy access to North Wales, to the Lake District. So we're hoping that people will extend their visit as well. We do also actually have, as part of the convention package, we also have a virtual event on the 24th, which is going to allow people to scoop up any of the B2B appointments that they didn't have, weren't able to have at the physical event, but also lots of on-demand content, destinations, showcases, educational opportunities as well. But it's going to be a great event. Manchester and the Kimpton have been fantastic to work with, just exactly what we wanted in the first place. And I think it's fair to say we are so excited and just can't wait to see everyone face to face again, which is going to be for a great business event, but has a huge reputation for being a whole lot of fun as well.
Marvellous. Well, thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in Manchester in the Kimpton. Marvellous.